2 words. Holonic Metadynamics. What is that? I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Holonic Metadynamics is a new framework coined by me that is basically the birth child of quantum physics and metaphysics. Quantum physics is basically the smallest parts of the universe that it is studying, which is amazing, but it seems to break things apart. We need it as a field of study. And then you have metaphysics, which is a branch of philosophy. It studies the nature of reality, consciousness, truth. Think of it as beyond physics. What I was finding with these two fields is they were a constricting framework for what I study, which is a little thing called plasma intelligence, which I will get to, which is basically a theory that the fourth state of matter, plasma, there is a living ether, a special plasma that basically makes up the fabric of our space-time reality. Think of it as like what the Matrix is made out of. And when I study this plasma intelligence and how it feeds back with consciousness, I found that it is impossible to study or prove within these frameworks. It almost lives in each of them like it's their mother and father. I wanted to bridge those two studies and open it up to a more holistic framework. This is where Holonic Metadynamics comes in. I have to stop doing this. As you can see here, it is much like a gestalt, which is more than the sum of its parts, meaning that we have to study this whole, W-H-O-L-E. We can apply Holonic Metadynamics to anything, whereas it's outside of us and also in us and around us, and beyond that. Just so you understand the two words and how I arrived at this, which I will explain. A holon is a Greek word. It means the whole and also parts. Basically, something that is both part of a larger system and a whole itself. So for instance, consciousness or plasma is a holon. It is part of a larger system of this reality, which work together in a feedback system. They are both wholes within themselves, but they're also part of a greater whole. Basically, my term this is on my website, it goes beyond conventional holism by emphasizing both the hierarchical and interactive relationships between the wholes and the parts, or holons, within a dynamic evolving system. Basically, it suggests that sometimes there are hierarchical relationships, sometimes they're interactive, like a feedback system. Maybe it's both, or neither. What I do think is everything is dynamic and evolves. Truths change. Everything is in flux. This is a beautiful way, I cannot talk today. This is a beautiful way to study our reality and our universe with the respect that things will change and we can't just prove them the way that we do in science. We have to keep presenting the ever-evolving information, and it is up to each person to know what is true and resonates with them and what they do with that information personally and holistically. I apply Holonic Metadynamics to understand the special type of plasma, which I'll talk more about in another video, and its role in consciousness, not as isolated pieces or loosely connected phenomena, but as layered, interdependent aspects of a unified whole. Each holon, such as plasma or consciousness, is both, as I said, part of a whole and a part, with properties that shift and adapt in response to feedback from other holons. I hope this is making sense, but I feel like it's pretty easy to get. But basically, as I said, you can apply this to anything. The concept of metadynamics refers to an ongoing adaptive process that unfolds across these holons, always evolving. Basically, this study captures the way each part or holon dynamically interacts with, influences, and redefines others over time, creating an emergent intelligence within the plasma consciousness system. I then say this approach opens the door to a more integrated understanding, in my case, where the entire system of consciousness and plasma is greater than the sum of its parts, aligning with a vision of reality as fundamentally interconnected, fluid, and multidimensional. This will all be in my upcoming book. You could sign up for the link in my bio. I also have really cool sweatshirts on my website that say Know Thyself, Biatch, and Plasma Intelligence. And you can read this whole thing there. And I will expand upon it here on my TikTok, and of course I'll leave some things for my book. What is so exciting about this is this gives us a framework to literally study anything in a more relaxed, dynamic, multidimensional, rainbow way. And it lets us almost go beyond, as I said, studying the details to almost like studying the details of what comes out of the whole, you know? Like a little infinity loop, and then like the bubbles that come off of that, like that's what we're studying. It's cool. Neurodivergent people, I bet you I'm tickling your brain. I'm very excited about this. I love plasma. And with that said, plasma is only one part of this multi-part framework that makes up our human experience. And I'm involved in that and what it can do for us as individuals and as a community. How we can become better people, more loving, more creative, more authentic, how we can show up that way and connect to that and remember that. And that is why I study all of this stuff. I am putting all of that in my book as well. I have no patience, so I talk about it here until my book is done because it's taking me forever. But it will be out in 2025. Bye!